Hi everybody, I'm filming from the beautiful Cyprus and I just have to apologise because I made a bit of a mistake with my 29-week pregnancy update vlog. I filmed it at home before I left and my flight was on a Wednesday, which is the day I upload my videos, and I thought I'd just edit it on the plane and then upload it, but for some reason my videos didn't airdrop properly to my computer, so I was stuck then on the plane not being able to do my editing or upload my video. And then of course you get on vacation and there's like loads of things that you've got to sort out and do, and I've just not really had any time. It's been quite full on. So I thought, well, I knew I was going to film a video when I was down here anyway, so I just thought, you know what, I will film a 29/30 week video. So I'll tell you, basically last week the decorator came in, he started on the nursery and we got this accent wall in our living room done. So that was nice to see. It's like the place is kind of finally coming together. How nice is that view, by the way? I've had to put these in. I hope that they actually work and the sound quality is better because there's some random noise, isn't there, and the ocean sounds quite loud. So the decorator has kind of started doing his thing around the house, which is lovely. It's a long weekend right now back home. My mum has taken advantage of me living by the beach, which is wonderful, so she's gone for a visit. I got my first care package in the mail last week. I haven't opened it yet, but I will do so as soon as I get back. So that'll be my 31st week video. I'll open this care package I got from my gorgeous friend, most beautiful soul, on the west coast of Vancouver, and her daughter did send me a little package, but I have not yet seen what's inside it. Right, so 29 weeks, baby is, or was, the size of an acorn squash, probably a little bit over 2.5 pounds, and still under like about 40 centimeters in length. Her eyes are fully focused and basically she's almost done developing now. If she was born, she'd have a really high chance of survival, being premature and her lungs not necessarily being able to breathe fully by herself, but she would be fully developed. So that's a bit of a relief. Symptoms between last week and this week are like night and day. So last week, yes, I still had some heartburn. Yes, it's just a known fact in pregnancy that you are uncomfortable most of the time. So if you're not pregnant and you watch my channel and you're just kind of following along with my journey, you've all been full, like you've all been stuffed, right? Stuffed out your faces, probably Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or whatever, and you're unable to move and you physically feel awful because you've eaten so much. That's pregnancy all day, every day. And on top of that, you've got the most random things happen to your body. You just kind of have to take on the chin and know that it probably is pregnancy, because the doctors really will chalk it up to pregnancy, even if you Google it and it potentially could be something else. What else? Last week I did loads of research on hypnobirthing and meditation stuff, and honestly I'm getting a little bit nervous for labour. Is something I've not really even considered. Birth plan, I did have a chat with Darren about, whose attitude is don't have a birth plan. It's going to hurt like hell but you'll be fine, or whatever will be. There's certain interventions I just don't want. I don't want a lot of yelling and beeping. I really want to be zen and calm, because if things start beeping and people start yelling and going off, then I probably will get into more of a panic mode and then your body tenses up, and I just really don't want that. I'd rather it to be as zen as possible and as relaxed, and people just to be all calm around me. And then I, being like a bit of an empath, I just pick up on energy so fast, so I have no idea what's going on with my hair. I just gave up on it. You know, when you're on vacay, you're like, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, so in regards to the birth plan, I've thought about that, but then when I'm doing hypnobirthing, and if you ever go on YouTube, you know, one video leads to the next, and next minute I'm looking at how to prevent tearing, and that's now become like a bit of a concern. So I can understand like the only positive, which is a really selfish positive about getting a C-section, is keeping everything down there completely intact. I am definitely petrified of tearing. Will it ever be the same again? And now in my groups, they're talking about your first post-pregnancy poo. Apparently it's like the most traumatic experience ever. So maybe I just need to stop reading and shut down the internet altogether. Maybe ignorance is bliss. But these are, you know, from one minute to the next, things that go on in my head. So anyway, that's 29 weeks, and then packing. Oh God, our journey to the airport. Actually, the only positive journey to the airport was like a 2-hour drive, because we were up at 2 in the morning. We left at 3. We got there 5:15. So we made really good time. That's because there was obviously only 2 cars that we saw on the roads. There, we parked outside of the airport, got a bus in, managed to have a little bite to eat in the airport, and then got on the plane. Luckily, there's a pregnant woman. She's like a month behind me, sat in the seat next to me, because I thought I'll have to get the aisle seat, right? Because I don't want to be, excuse me, have to pee now. Have to get up and stretch every half hour. Have to try and put on these compression socks, which was quite hilarious. Darren has to help now with putting on my shoes and socks. I've regressed to being a child. It's simply because I just can't bend over, so he has to really help me. So, but here's what happened in the transition of my 29 to 30 weeks, where some shit got real. So before I left before I even left on the vacation, I got my nails done and waxing, which is like, you know, standard thing. Although I haven't been ever waxed pregnant, of course, so I don't know if that makes any difference to your pain level. If you've got extra blood flow, does that hinder it or help it? I don't know, but I went to this lovely woman who was quite happy to wax me everywhere. So I'm lying on the bed on one side, because you can't lie on your stomach, and I'm there for a minute because she's trying to do the backs of my legs, so I'm trying to get in the best positions for her to be able to do that. And after a while, obviously I then have to turn to go onto the other side of the table. When I got up, I don't know what happened, but I heard this like popping sound, like 2 pops, and it was like a combination of hearing the sound or maybe feeling it internally and knowing it was a pop. But it was right under my left breast, it was in my rib cage or behind my rib cage, and it had me keeled over and a little bit winded. It definitely stopped me in my tracks, and I knew it wasn't anything to do with like contractions or anything like that. It wasn't like that type of pain where I was alerted to be like, something's just happened to me. It was, did I just break a rib? And I didn't. I haven't obviously been x-rayed. I didn't have time to go to the hospital because it was literally the day before we flew. And to touch my ribs, it doesn't hurt, but the plane ride, as you can imagine, was horrendous. My boobs have gotten larger and they're heavy, and they also like rest kind of in that area a little bit. And sometimes it just comes and goes, this really, really awful pain. So I'm not sure if that is what a foot feels like trapped under your rib cage, but I've definitely tried loads of different things to rule that out. So it happens maybe 4 times or whatever a day, and it is awful, and I just have to quite kind of breathe through it. I've fighting taken any paracetamol. I haven't taken anything yet throughout my pregnancy. I'd really rather not, because I work quite hard on eliminating any toxins mostly from my body, so I'd rather not have to take more stuff. However, did get to a point not long ago, yesterday actually, or the day before, where I was almost crying with the pain. I noticed my ankles getting swollen by the minute, to the point where I lost my ankle bone, and then my hands hurt. When you hold your fingers down, they hurt. And I thought, might have to Google this because I don't know what's going on with the rib. Now my swelling and this round ligament pain. Some people are blessed with it. Some people don't have it at all, but I do. Your uterus before you're pregnant is the size of a pear, and it's suspended within your body with ligaments. Those ligaments and your uterus not only have to stretch, so they become like strings of spaghetti, very long and lean, and they stretch, and that hurts. You're still holding up an enormous amount of weight. It's heavy. There's over 1.5 pints of amniotic fluid surrounding the baby anyway, so of course pains are going to occur from that, aren't they? And even walking can kind of bring those things on. And I'm just one of the lucky ones that have it. Now, I'm not being a hypochondriac or a cyberchondriac, because I do Google a lot, but that's why I had to message my midwife, because I had these little combination of things, and I thought, it could sound like preeclampsia, but it probably isn't preeclampsia, because I don't have dizziness, I'm not vomiting, I don't really have high blood pressure, I didn't have protein or ketones in my urine. Last time I got my bloods done, week before I came, I was fine. But anything can change in a minute. So that's just part and parcel, I think, of the journey that you go on. And as conscious as you are, you don't want to ignore things that are consistent. I think that's what it is. Like heartburn, it's going to come and go. But if you had relentless heartburn, you'd probably need to seek attention, wouldn't you, if it didn't go anywhere? Anyway, that was my little bit of a rant about that body changing experience that I'm going through. Again, I feel like probably it's another growth spurt, because I am large now. 20 pounds, probably 25 pounds since the last time I've checked, and it'll probably be 30 by the time I've finished with this holiday, because it's all inclusive. And yeah, some things when you're traveling, like I really only bit the bullet to buy maternity clothes properly before this trip. So I got some dresses. I knew if I was going to be hot, if I had a sunburn, I just did not want anything tight and clingy on my skin. For the most part, I just don't wear, whenever I can, I just don't wear clothes. And this trip I bought some maternity stuff. Some of it worked out, some of it didn't. The selection's pretty shocking in the UK. You have to get most of the stuff online, and you're trying it on and returning it. For women, you know what that's like if you have a fat day. Well, every day's a fat day when you're pregnant, so you never really feel great about trying on clothes, but you just hope, okay, it's not clingy, I can pee in it easily, it's a nice colour, it'll do. And you're not really that arsed about it. Bathing suits, on the other hand, I didn't buy a maternity bathing suit. I just went 3 sizes up in a regular bathing suit, and I already have a bit of a long torso, so what you're left with is, I've got a strapless bathing suit on right now. You're left with this it shouldn't be this low down situation. It's tight, so I don't think it's going anywhere, but it shouldn't really be that low down. I had to move locations, it got really, really windy. Okay, so yeah, in regards to the packing, as I said, I just bit the bullet. Got some maternity clothes finally. Tried loads on, sent loads back, didn't receive a package of other stuff that I ordered from Modern Vintage Boutique, but I am excited for them to come in. Sorry, I just did archery actually, and now I'm exhausted. So they didn't come in yet. What I should have done is invested in a maternity swimming costume. So if you are pregnant, I'd say if you're definitely showing, invest in a maternity swim costume. I didn't. I thought I could take a shortcut. Mainly I didn't because I didn't like any of them, and you know, for a little bit of extra material, I just hate the fact that they gouge you. They charge you like double the price just because it says maternity on it. I just really have a hard time with it, because what's the difference if it's plus size or not? So I didn't. I just bought like a size 14, for example, and normally I'd wear a size 10. So I got quite a bigger swimming costume, but I don't think they account for your torso length being or needing to be longer because your bump pushes it out. So if you can imagine, that's why I've got this one on strapless. So this is the best I'm gonna be able to do, really, because I can't take my swimming costume off, obviously, but this is my bump in my bathing suit. And that's it. Guys, I wish you the best week wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope that you're having an amazing time, and thank you for following me. Thanks to my new subscribers. If you missed the last few videos, just click on the top left there and it will take you to one of them. Much love, talk to you soon.